picking up the SIX, F3 Knoxville's weekly podcast looking at 6 terms from the Excion and Lexicon of F3. Today we've got 6 good ones. We're still in the kind of opening of this podcast, so we're still looking at some basic terms here. Some of my favorite ones as well. So we're looking at post and posting. We're looking at the Gloom, Fartsacking, which is a wonderful verb. It can also be, Fartsack can also be a noun. We're looking at Carolina Dry Dock as one of our exercises. Let me check my notes here. We're looking at the Abe Vigoda or the Abe Vigoda, and then the Kraken. So I'll let the intro music play out here and we'll get started. All right, so we'll start with post. This comes pretty early on in the Excion there, the Lexicon. For those of you that have read Free to Leave, it's even on page 5 of that book. And to post is really just to show up for a workout, to appear and participate. I think that is key here. To appear and participate in an F3 event or workout. So if you're posting to an AO, you're going to a workout, participating in an event, some lingo that I've actually had to explain when I talk about it to EHing guys. I posted yesterday. Well, okay, did you get on some message board? Is there a secret F3 message board? And I said, well, yes, that is our Slack, but no, it means I just went to the workout. The next term we're talking about is gloom. Gloom, usually has a negative connotation to it. Something can be gloomy is usually not positive. But gloom, as defined in the lexicon, is the generic term for the early morning hour at which F3 workouts usually take place, and the generally dark conditions in which they are conducted. The murky pre-dawn time in which the packs circle the shovel flag in preparation for a workout. I think it's a great term because I think it's one of those terms that we usually, like I said, has that negative connotation, but we kind of turn that into the positive. So we say things like see you in the gloom, or you're going to be in the gloom in the morning, and we really turn that into a positive thing. And yes, it is dark and murky pre-dawn hours usually, but we are getting to that time where, the end of the workout, those pictures are the sun's starting to come up and it's starting to get a little bit lighter. So I do love that term, the gloom, about turning it upside down. And a little shout out to our Silent PM guys, the fake gloomers that they call themselves. Sometimes during the wintertime they finish in the gloom. Some of those pictures I've seen, back in January, February, where it was finishing their workout at, I believe, 6:45, 7, where it was pretty dark. So the third term from the lexicon is going to be fartsack. And I think that this thing is hilarious. So it sounds crude, crass, but the fact that it comes from page 23 of Free to Lead, they really did all of these F3 lingos, a lot of these F3 lingos in Free to Lead. They kind of did them very casually and, just kind of like post is to show up and appear at a workout. Well, for Fartsack, they made it very much like a dictionary entry, which I thought was pretty funny. A fartsack is a noun, a piece of furniture for sleep or rest, typically with coverings for that temporary fart containment. A man who rises and posts in the gloom must almost always leave the warmth and comfort of his fartsack to do so. Fartsack can also be used as a verb to describe the action of missing a workout to stay in the fartsack, as in, sorry I missed you, I decided to fartsack this morning. Growing up, I wasn't allowed to say the F word. Fart. My mother and father thought it was crude, and I kind of passed that along to some of my younger children. Even so, when that famous scene in the movie A Christmas Story, when he said the word, the F dash 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 word, I remember asking my dad at the time what word he said. I probably was 6, 7, hadn't heard the actual word before, and he told me in a whisper, so my little sister couldn't hear me. He goes, he said fart. And in my little 6, 7, 8-year-old brain just was like, no, he can't say that. So fartsacking is one of those words that's hilarious when it's used correctly. It totally describes that piece of furniture that you would rather stay in than post to a workout. And if you have Instagram or Twitter, take a look at I think it's F3 Snickers. He does a lot of the region and AO logos. He has a whole Instagram account devoted to his logos, and one of them is "Say No to the Fartsack," and it's a hilarious picture. So moving on from the Lexicon, we'll go to the Excion. So 3 exercises. The first one being the Carolina Dry Dock. Now, I was told recently that this is basically a pike push-up. Well, I never heard of a pike push-up. So Carolina Dry Dock is where you're kind of like in a inverted V, with your arms and legs straight, your 6 kind of up in the air, and the only thing you're doing when you're doing the push-up motion is bending your elbows. So your head kind of goes straight down. I have seen several variations of the Carolina Dry Dock, but really it gets more of that upper shoulder back workout than a regular Merkin or push-up does. The second exercise is the Abe Vigoda, or the Abe Vigoda, I think is what Ribbed called it the first time I heard. And this is named after that character actor, Abe Vigoda. He's seems like he's been an old man for about 70 years. He's in The Godfather. He's the guy that describes the toilet in which Michael Corleone hides the gun near the beginning of the movie. And even then in the 70s, he was an old man. I think he recently passed. If not, he's still going strong. But the Abe Vigoda is the variation of a windmill. So a lot of times in a warm-up, we'll do windmills where you're going from a standing position with your legs wide, going down to opposite arm, opposite leg to do a little bit of a calisthenic, a little bit of a stretch. But the Abe Vigoda is going to be much more slowly. I'm assuming like an old man would do. It's also known as old man style windmills, and like I said, usually performed in a warm-up. And the last term is not a term so much as it is a routine. So what I've been liking to do here is not only doing terms but also doing routines. And this is for those of you that are searching for ideas for a Q or coming up with a VQ. On my third workout in F3, I did my very first Kraken. Kraken made its appearance at the CSOP, the Asylum, and I kind of love Kraken in its simplicity while also providing a whole lot of variation. So a Kraken is where you've got stations in a circle or circle-like shape where each station has a different exercise, sometimes a variation on number of reps. You can put, I know that at the Equalizer, Strip's got some 1x2s where it's got different exercises written on. We see those a lot. And you do the prescribed exercise and reps at each station. And instead of running straight to the next station, what you do is you run past that next station and continue around that circle or circle-like shape until you get back to the next station. So you're actually doing, each time you're doing a full lap plus the distance in between the last station you performed and the next one. Now, if that's confusing enough, hit me up and I'll draw you a diagram. I like to use these, especially when you're having fun with Strava, drawing a picture on the map. I was able to do a heart on Valentine's Day and a F3 on my F3 anniversary at the Dog Pound a couple weeks ago. So the Kraken is a really great, simple yet very, very adjustable. You can make it your own. Like I said, you can use Strava to make different shapes. And so I suggest using that if you're either needing a pocket cue or not really sure what you need. right, that'll do it for picking up the SIX for this Wednesday, March 23rd, 2022. Just as a recap, we looked at Post, Gloom, Fartsack, Abe Vigoda. We looked at the Kraken as well as Carolina Dry Docks. Thanks for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe. And give us any kind of rating and review on any of your podcasting platforms. That always helps grow the show. I love seeing the numbers go up every week, every episode during the week as well. Huge shout out to those guys that are sharing the podcast and listening every week, and those that are giving me feedback. Love it. Love the feedback. Really have a thick skin on that, so don't feel like you're hurting my feelings. If I need to do something better, you please let me know, because I want to serve you all here in F3 Knoxville and beyond. With that being said, I will see y'all back here on Friday for Mumble Chatting.